Hi, everybody. Great to see all of you. The basketballs are bouncing all over downtown Cleveland, and welcome to our 2012 MAC Tournament Preview Show, brought to you by our friends at First Energy here in our Hyundai Studios in downtown Cleveland. I'm Michael Regai with my partner, Steve Mix, as we burst it, because what a terrific regular season we had, and yet we believe that all of the top excitement is still to come.
We had a tremendous season this year watching all these MAC teams play. And I'm telling you what, just watching all the matchups, the possibilities, this is even going to be better.
The matchups, we'll go through them during the course of the next half hour. But what do you say we start with the chalk, those that won their respective divisions? In the MAC West, Eastern Michigan's Eagles. How about the job Rob Murphy and his crew did with a two-game win to win the MAC West?
I thought they did an outstanding job. They implemented that 2-3 zone. They were able to slow it down and do a tremendous job.
Yeah, they really did. And in the MAC East, of course, Akron Zips with the overall number one seed, best record, 13-3. They have the 9-game win streak. But the strength of the MAC this year with Buffalo, with Ohio, with Kent State, as you see those four squads, that garnered the four top seeds as we begin play this week in the MAC tournament. Steve Mix, Akron, the top seed, they pretty much established that they were going to be hard to knock off that by the time we got to the halfway point in regular season play.
Well, but they had to win that last game at Kent State as they dropped the two previous games prior to that, and they just showed everybody in the MAC that, hey, we are going to be a hard out if you're going to win the championship.
21-10 overall, 13-3, a very balanced, diversified basketball team, Steve. Not only are they locked down on the defensive end, but with Alex Abreu running the show and the bench, so many offensive weapons.
They really do. And the thing that I like about Akron, they have 9 players that play 16 minutes or more. The offense is spread around tremendously. Everybody gets an opportunity to show what they can do, and they have the best bench, I feel, in the league.
We mentioned they started 11-1, then they lose to Ohio and Buffalo, and we'll finish it off with a big win over Kent State. But, Steve, the experience. They've played in 5 consecutive MAC championship games. That has to mean something at this time of year coming into downtown Cleveland.
Experience, I think, is one of the keys to this team. When you take a look at how they play, they have a lot of experience on their bench. They have a lot of experience in their starting lineup, and they have an experienced coach, one of the best coming down the stretch, that if it's a tight game, Keith can get the job done.
Yeah, a lot of factors there, obviously. However, that doesn't guarantee that they're going to be cutting down the nets come Saturday night. Let's take a look at the number 2 seed, Reggie Witherspoon and his Buffalo Bulls. What a phenomenal win to lock up that number 2 seed against Bowling Green. Mitchell Watt, of course, and Javon McCray. McCray so versatile, Steve, with his offensive game. I got to tell you, though, I think it may come down to the way Zach Filson and Gerard Oldham can handle things on the perimeter.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you take a look at the Buffalo, they ended up winning their last 3 ball games. Miami at Akron, huge win for them there, and then a tremendous game against Bowling Green on Saturday night. But take a look at their numbers right there, and Reggie Witherspoon in his 13th season.
Top scoring duo in the MAC, yes, Mitchell Watt and Javon McCray. We think without question the best combination on the front court with any club in the MAC. And of course they lead the MAC in a field goal percentage defense. And with Mitchell Watt there, you've got the young man who is the eraser in front of the rim, and that has been proven throughout the course of the season.
Well, the one thing that Mitchell Watt can do, he can defend any center in the MAC by himself. You don't need to double. When you don't need to double, that means you can just stay home on the perimeter, and that makes your defense that much better.
Another ball club that came very strong and had a lot of resiliency to their game down the stretch, John Gross and his Ohio Bobcats. They wind up 11-5. And, of course, in adding Walter Offutt with Nick Kellogg and the point guard DJ Cooper, a very strong offensive game out on the edges.
I think when you take a look at that backcourt, they are some of the most explosive players that you'll find in the MAC this season. DJ Cooper leading that Bobcat team, doing an outstanding job. And you know what? Defensively, not as good as the 2 previous teams, but a pretty good team. They hold opponents from beyond the arc to just 28%. You have to love those numbers.
Don't forget, 2 years ago, John Gross came into downtown Cleveland, strung together 4 straight wins, and then beat Georgetown in the first round of the NCAA tournament. So Gross knows how to win in the pressure cooker of Cleveland in the MAC tournament. 8-0 at home. They were outstanding. They do lead the MAC in steals, and I think everybody believes, though, DJ Cooper has got to have a big week if Ohio's going to be the team that wins the championship.
Keep this in mind. They have not played on one neutral site all season long.
Okay.
And that could affect their play come Thursday night.
All right, we've got that written down. Also, Ivo Baltic. He's been very good in MAC tournaments past. Can he duplicate that again this year? All right, seed number 4, a squad that perennially is always up at the top of the MAC pecking order. First year for Rob Senderoff and his Kent State Golden Flashes. And Carlton Guyton, Randall Holt, and Michael Perini, the backcourt and the guard play is stellar.
It really is. I love the backcourt. Very athletic. Guys that can play multiple positions. Guys that can switch just about on anything they want to. Keep this in mind, though. They've dropped 4 of their last 5 coming down the stretch. And, if you would say, can they get it together? They have the ability and the athleticism and the offensive scoring power to win.
They have the best resume going back to 1998 in the Mid-American Conference. As we know, 13 of those 14 seasons, they've won 20 basketball games or more, Steve. They've gone to 11 tournaments in the last 13 years. 5 NCAAs, 6 NITs. You got to believe Rob Senderoff in his first year, Veteran Ball Club, that counts for something. Don't sleep on Kent State.
Oh, there's no question about that. I mean, when you just take a look at those top 4 teams, I mean, it's unbelievable what each one of those teams could do. Yeah. Those teams have the ability to win the MAC championship. There's no question about that.
My partner just told you. That's why he's got his Ouija board out.
I'm moving them all around.
Making prognostications. More coming up. Akron, Buffalo, Ohio, Kent State. Those are your top 4. What about the other first-round matchups, the 4 other games, when we get back on our First Energy 2012 MAC Tournament Preview Show? We'll take a look at seeds 5 through 8, what their matchups are, and what opportunities they have realistically to get to downtown Cleveland and join the Party of 8. Don't go away.